The blizzard howled across the mining colony of Creos 7 like a living thing, hungry and merciless. Adam pulled his thermal coat tighter as he made his final rounds of the construction site, his breath forming crystalline clouds in the sub-zero air. As foreman of the Human Expansion Project, he'd seen plenty of harsh nights. But this storm was different. Deadly different. The colony's scanners had warned of the atmospheric disruption hours ago, giving the workers just enough time to seal the prefab shelters. Now, as ice crystals battered against his visor, Adam counted heads one last time. 23 humans all accounted for. He turned toward the main shelter, ready to lock down for the night. That's when he heard it. A sound that didn't belong to the wind. Through the white curtain of snow, 3 massive shapes materialized. Adam's hand instinctively moved to his plasma cutter, but he froze. These weren't the native ice predators he'd been warned about. These were draconians, one of the galaxy's most feared species. The lead draconian, a female with scales that shimmered between silver and deep blue, stumbled forward. Her wings, magnificent even in their battered state, drooped with exhaustion. Behind her, a male barely managed to support himself, and between them, a juvenile no larger than a human child struggled through the deepening snow. "Please," the female's voice came through his comms translator, each word a visible effort. "Shelter, just until storm passes," Adam's mind raced. Draconians were warriors, conquerors who'd carved out an empire across 3 sectors. Their reputation for pride was matched only by their reputation for violence. Every instinct screamed danger. His crew was his responsibility, and letting apex predators into their shelter could be inviting disaster. But then he looked at the juvenile, at the way its eyes, ancient and intelligent despite its youth, reflected the colony's lights with desperate hope. "This way," Adam said, his decision made. "Quickly," the female's eyes widened in shock. "You would shelter us?" "Talk later. Move now or you'll freeze." He led them to the secondary storage facility, a smaller structure that housed equipment and supplies. It wasn't luxurious, but it was warm and sealed against the storm. The draconians barely fit through the door, their massive frames filling the space. Inside, Adam activated the heating units and watched as the 3 aliens collapsed in exhaustion. The female kept herself between her family and Adam, protective even in weakness. "I am Elif," she said finally, her voice carrying a musical quality even through the translator. "This is my mate Korvax and our son Zephyr. We—" "Thank you, human." "Adam," he replied, keeping his distance. "What happened?" "Draconians are spacefarers." "How'd you end up grounded in a storm?" Elif's expression darkened. "Pirates. They attacked our courier ship, damaged our engines. We crashed in the wastes, walked for 2 days seeking shelter. Every colony we found—" She paused, pride and shame warring in her features. "They turned us away. Some fired warning shots. They feared us too much to show mercy." Adam nodded slowly. He understood their reasoning, had nearly made the same choice himself. "Rest," he said. "I'll bring medical supplies and food." "Why?" Korvax spoke for the first time, his deep voice rumbling like distant thunder. "We are draconians. Your kind has reason to fear us. Our empire has," he coughed, a terrible rattling sound, "has not been kind in the past." Adam paused at the door. "Maybe not. But right now you're not an empire. You're a family in trouble. And out here, in places like Creos 7, we don't survive by leaving people to die." When he returned with supplies, he found Elif tending to her son, her clawed hands surprisingly gentle. Adam showed her how to use the human medical scanner, then left nutrient packs, protein rich enough to sustain their massive metabolisms. Over the next 3 days, as the storm raged outside, something unexpected happened. Adam found himself returning to the storage facility, first to check on his guests, then simply to talk. Elif told stories of draconian history, not the conquest and glory, but the poetry, the art, the philosophy of a people who valued honor above all else. "We were wrong," she admitted on the second night, watching Zephyr sleep peacefully. "My people believed strength meant domination. But you humans, you're different. You're physically weaker, yes. Your lifespans are shorter, yet you cross the void, establish colonies in impossible places, and somehow—" She looked at Adam with something like wonder. "Somehow you remain kind. Even to your enemies," Adam shrugged. "We're not always kind. But we've learned that survival isn't just about strength. It's about cooperation, community, looking out for each other even when it's hard. When the storm finally broke, Adam helped contact a draconian rescue ship. As Alif prepared to leave, she placed one massive claw gently on his shoulder, a gesture of profound respect in her culture. "You saved more than our lives, Adam of Earth," she said. "You saved my son's future. And perhaps you've shown us a better path." 6 months later, Adam received a transmission. The Draconian Empire had established a formal alliance with the Human Colonial Authority, the first such partnership in their history. Alif herself served as ambassador, and her first act was ensuring Cryo 7 received full support and protection. But more than that, she'd returned to the colony personally, bringing Zephyr to help with the construction efforts. The young Draconian worked alongside human engineers, his strength invaluable, his enthusiasm infectious. As Adam watched species that had once been adversaries working together, building something new under alien stars, he smiled. This was humanity's real gift to the galaxy. Not weapons or technology, but the simple, revolutionary idea that kindness was not weakness. It was the strongest force in the universe.